Hey everybody, this week's episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks. Ornaments, pendants, straws, marbles, wine glasses, and functional glass, all unique, durable, and handcrafted. Support a local artist and visit Tanner at Deep Creek Glassworks. That's www.etsy.com/shop/Deep Creek Glassworks. That's WORX. Their creations are stronger glass than what you'll find in stores, so take it from their hands into your home at Deep Creek Glassworks. And just for our listeners, if you enter promo code SUPERFUN, you'll get 10% off of your next order. Once again, that's www.etsy.com/shop/Deep Creek Glassworks.
Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show down. Hey, welcome to MUBRS Part 2.
MUBRS, the dose, the sequel.
Dose. We have some... We're pretty much splitting some episodes here. Ralph and I wanted to do one, and
Yes.
Harry and Steve wanted to do one. So Ralph and I are going to recap our Too Many Games experience. So, Ralph,
Yes.
what was your favorite moment of Too Many Games 2019?
Ooh, my favorite moment. It's probably the moment I found some action figures, actually, at one of the stands, which was a Friday night deal.
Oh my God, this is such a great story.
Well, I don't know if I can tell it, because it's a surprise.
You found two action figures.
Okay, all right. Now I gotta give context. Anyway, the marketplace part of Too Many Games. You know, you have vendors selling all kinds of stuff, all kinds of pop culture stuff, not just video games. And I've been listening to the Dune audiobook, the first book. Listening to it, I'm a fan of the movie. It's both good and bad, so much to the point where it comes around and it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's so bad it's ridiculous.
So bad it's good.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
The
want to
Room.
say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so bad it's good.
Yeah, and I know. Anyway, just looking at, tons of games, tons of stuff. We'd actually just looked at the limited run stand, which was right next door.
Yes, and
And-
I picked up Windjammers.
Windjammers, yes, classic. And I saw the Baron from Dune, who, if anybody who's ever seen Dune, he's kind of a
Grotesque blob.
he really stands out. So I was like, wait a minute, is that a Dune action figure? And I was really taken aback, and they're in like the clear plastic like sandwich boxes. Like if you go to a vending machine and get a sandwich out of it, it's like the triangular shape. So there was the Baron, and then there was Fade, who's played by Sting in the movie, and they had the two there, and he took cash only. So I bought the Baron flat out, but I didn't have enough cash to get Fade. I'll send you Fade, his nephew or whatever, the Harkonnens. And kind of talking to the guy who was running the stand, he was like, you know what, you don't have any cash? Okay, tell you what, I'm starving. If you go get me 2 slices of cheese pizza and bring them back here, the figure's yours. So, I mean...
And you thought he was kidding.
I did think he was kidding.
Thought he was
kind of funny.
joking, and you just started like walking off, and I was like, no, Ralph, I think he's serious. You should tell him that you're going to get him the pizza.
And then I went back and said, 2 slices? Okay, coming up, something like that. Ran to the food court, cafeteria-ish area, waited in line, got his slices, and took him back to him. And he was very appreciative, thank you, and he gave me the action figures. So I don't think on the history of the planet has anyone traded 2 slices of pizza, which was about $8, for a Fade Routha Harkonnen action figure from Dune, and the character's played by Sting. I don't think anybody has ever done that. So just a little tiny unique moment, one of those classic marketplace moments that I'll never forget. Ridiculous.
I watched the whole thing go down, and it literally became Barter Town. The guy was sitting there, and was like, I'm really hungry for 2 slices of pizza. And then we're there, and the total comes to $8, and Ralph's looking at me like, do you think I should get him like some water or something? And I was like, no, he just wanted the 2 slices. Don't sweeten the deal.
Yeah, how can I sweeten this deal for
Yeah, how can I give him more stuff?
It just
became Bartertown. It was great.
It
was so
ridiculous.
good. Like,
so yeah, I guess that's up there for the moments that I had at this year's Too Many Games. Obviously, getting some of the interviews that we did were really cool, and you guys will know all about that. What was yours?
it's tough. Because I got to interview like two people that I respect a lot. One being Tommy Dreamer. It's someone that I watched wrestle when I was a kid. And the other being like Nathan Barnett, who's pretty much my favorite YouTuber. And I do have to say this. Nathan Barnett is actually the reason that I got into YouTube so heavily 2 years ago. I used to I would like randomly check out videos if someone sent them to me, but I was not a person that like logged onto YouTube every day and like watched some videos.
Gee, I don't know what that's like.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is like that's pretty average for a lot of people. That was not me. I was not that person.
Right. Okay.
And like I fell in love with Nathan Barnett's like videos, just like all the Keith Apicary stuff, Dad, everything. So then getting to sit down and interview him was fucking awesome for me. Like
surreal.
It was just it was just a really cool moment because it's someone that I deeply respect his like drive to like produce content, honestly, and he's very transparent about like, oh look, like this didn't get many views. Like his he won a bunch of awards for the short film that he made, Neutral, and if you go and look at Neutral on YouTube, it has 60,000 views, and that's it, and that's not a lot for someone of like his caliber. And like the short's great, and he wants to turn it into a feature.
Is that the Bounty Hunter one you were telling me about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
It's pretty awesome. Like the cinematography and stuff like that, and he like wrote it, kind of. I think he directed it and stuff like that. And getting to like actually like sit down and have a conversation with like him as Nathan, not Keith, not one of his characters. Like actually sitting and talking to Nathan was fucking cool.
Right.
And I feel like you don't get a lot of that on his YouTube at all.
No, I was surprised when we got to the panel and he was basically there as himself, and it was very open, honest, casual.
Yeah.
It wasn't a performance, which every other time I've seen him at a con, he's basically stating character the whole time.
Yeah, and like for reference, like anyone that like it just like doesn't know who he is, like he has like an Andy Kaufman approach. Like the first time that I saw him 2 years previously at Too Many Games, I didn't know who he was, and he was Keith Apicary the entire time, which is this really nerdy, really kind of like eccentric nerd character.
Neo Geo, Sega Genesis fanboy.
Right. So yeah, I mean that's my obvious like standout highlight was getting to sit there and talk to him. Although I do have to say also like the performances were really fucking cool to see. Like he performed as Keith Apicary and Dad.
Right.
So we got to see his like two biggest characters kind of do performances, and then also to round off that night, seeing fucking epic rap battles of history was fucking awesome.
That was cool. I really liked their interactions with the crowd, where they asked people in the crowds like, hey, if you know this rap really well, like volunteer, we're going to put you on stage, do the whole thing. And the people that they picked delivered. It was great.
Yeah, they did.
That was great.
Yeah.
I really, they get a lot of respect from me for that. That's really cool.
They did some freestyling, and you can tell they're way better at writing their content out. Like they're not.
Yeah, sure.
Like they're not like typical rappers that can kind of like kick a freestyle quickly. So some of them, I kind of think Epic Lloyd is like better at actually just like rapping than I forget his name. The other guy.
The short one or the thin one?
The short one is Epic Lloyd.
Okay.
So the taller one is I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
Ian. I want to say Ian, maybe.
I kind of liked that it was a little janky, because to me it told me that this wasn't prepared. This is something that they did on the spot. Because when they said Thanos and Tony Stark, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if they like had some Thanos like rhymes already in
Yeah,
in mind. You know what I mean?
So that was cool, and it made it like authentic. Like for sure, it made it authentic. It was not a like fully prepared like blow you out of the water thing. But what was cool is they did this freestyle in the middle of the crowd. It's not like they did it up on stage. They came to the middle of the crowd. They had the crowd dancing back and forth when they did RoboCop and Terminator.
That was cool.
And stuff like that. Like that, it was incredible. It was just a really cool experience. My girlfriend was there with us, and she was just all about it. It was just really cool. Yeah, I mean those are my highlights. I picked up some pretty cool artwork.
Yep.
And I got some pins and stuff like that. You know, I got Tommy Dreamer to sign a ECW Hardcore Revolution N64 cart, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Right.
And that was really cool. And I picked up Windjammers and stuff. And like I'll be completely honest. I haven't been to too many conventions. But like I really enjoy Too Many Games. I actually think it's a really well done convention.
It's getting bigger. It's expanding. It's growing.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, it's a little bit nicer. Now it seems similar to what MagFest was like when I went there in like 11 and 12. I haven't been to MagFest in a couple of years. Actually, in several years, I haven't been to MagFest, and that like takes place inside a large hotel. Like it just. The ground floor, some of the other floors, tons of panels, tons of people. The year that I went, or the first year that I went, they had Nobuo Uematsu to perform live, which was ridiculous with his band, the Black Mages.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that was like that was a great experience, that whole trip. But yeah, Too Many Games, Oaks Convention Center. It's a great time. If you have any interest in retro gaming, current gaming, YouTube personalities, anybody, check it out. Worth the price of admission.
Oh, 100%. 3-day pass, $55. It's absolutely worth it. If there's two people that you want to see, like, you know what I mean? It's totally fucking worth it.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple names, like the Angry Video Game Nerd was there, Pat the NES Punk was there, Adam Karolic was there,
Nathan Barnett,
Johnny Versus. If you watch YouTube gaming and any of those names sound familiar, I mean, they're all there. They're all stand-up guys. They're all real nice.
Yeah,
it's a great time.
You can go up and talk to them about.
Yeah, you can go up and talk to them about anything.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's Ralph and I's wrap up of Too Many Games, and we will see you next week.
Later.
Stay sexy.